All right, hello everyone. Here we are setting up for hole number 7 here. One of the things that you can do is you can definitely play with something more like a dead ball if you would like on this, especially if you're a little bit shorter. If you have to go with Thor's hammer, you're probably going to want to use dead ball or Kingmaker X, for example. I should just be able to get away with this. Another thing you can do is you can bring Guardian. I'm actually going to probably just stick with, another thing that I can do is I can probably set up my multiple bags here and I can just make sure that I'm covered. So if, I'm not going to use Thor 6 here, so one of the things that I can do is I can just kind of put myself in the situation where I can just switch 3 woods if I absolutely need to. Now, what is the biggest deciding factor when I step up to the tee? Is it a 12.3 or is it a 10 point something into the wind? So one of the things that this isn't a very good wind for you guys to set yourself up for consistently pulling back to the same power. That's one of the biggest common mistakes and misconceptions here is, not to scale your shot based on the wind. So sometimes I might go full power. Sometimes I might go half power on this tee shot. So it's really just going to be dictated by, and another, thing to be thinking about is a POC 5, putting that extra, not being able to put that extra topspin on comparably to a POC 6, a POC 7 is also going to change the way that I have to go about power in this. So with the POC 5, it just becomes a little bit more of a dangerous shot and something that you might want to consider having the range. And here you can see it has that 12.1 that I was kind of speaking about. And in a situation like this, sometimes you can probably play the wind as well. So for instance, I can switch and go dead ball here and only use it if the wind goes, say, above 11.9 or so. And I can just kind of play the wind. So what this will do is it'll give me a little bit of extra range on my second shot as well. So with the 12.1, I'm going to do an overplay. I'm going to go very close to about 10 rings here. So you can see that I'm still going to need just a slight bit of power, somewhere right around here. Otherwise, I'd be going very full. And with a full overpower shot here, it could be a very risky shot. However, this shot here isn't going to be that risky. And especially, after I get kind of into the groove and comfortability, just keep in mind that I was trying to kind of counter that wind. I was putting just a little bit of curl to the left just to keep kind of straightening out that line so that wind doesn't, end up carrying it too much to the right and pushing me into that rough. But you can see I'm kind of pin high with where my opponent is. We're kind of in the same spot here. What I'll typically do in this, one of the things that I did is when you actually make this switch, I should have probably switched to Kingmaker X because I use all my spin here. So now I'm going to have to curl it. But if you wanted to, let's just say, hypothetically, you had a lot of dead balls or royal balls, whatever they are, and you just wanted to, play this way for comfort, by all means, you can do it. And one of the things that you can use is you can use your curling grid lines here. So, I can start to kind of memorize position. And if you saw my second hole, the way that I played that one, you could probably do relatively similar for this shot where you can see that I kind of have it boxed off in that corner. It's not necessarily the best way for you to do it on this shot because there's no tee box to control kind of your movement. So first off, I'm going to go about 13 rings here. But I'm also going to need to do some curl. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to focus on, especially if you're going to keep hitting dead balls, how much did I just curl? And then trying to shot replicate that. And that looks like just a little bit too much curl. So you can see that it actually comes in just a little bit right. Keep in mind that the wind effect, you'll have to offset that ball guide to the left because with the way that that wind is, and especially how it's angled, it's actually going to kick the ball more right every time, no matter what. You'll have to watch how much backspin you use. As you can see, I use very, very little, and it's still checked up very, very fast. So you'll want to scale that. You'll want to kind of copy everything I did. The only thing that I would have liked to have done is I would have liked to have had the full side spin and then just put that ball much more in the center there of the shot circle, and it would have gave me a very good chance. Now, the next time I play this hole for you guys, I'm definitely going to probably just use a Kingmaker, so you can see kind of just a variety of balls and, you know, ways that we can go about. But do keep in mind that grid line, you know, especially if you're using the notebook app, you can kind of pay attention to how much I just curled there, and then, you know, you can start to scale it back throughout the week. So you could see, you know, screenshot what I did, take a look at where my positioning was, and then you can just start to come in and try to replicate my land zones, stuff like that, and just try to focus on getting to that same exact curl spot with your ball. Hopefully you can drive it just a little bit farther than I just did, you know, an extra 4 yards there, and I wouldn't have had to use any overpower. So that's what you want to ideally be shooting for. So good luck with that hole, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.